996 or click on one of our Stay Cool ads at KCAAradio.com. The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is home to some of the best bargain shopping in the region. Citywear, Style for Less, and Dollar Tree, to name just a few. Friendly shop owners and staff are waiting for you to stop in for the many specials and bargains they're excited to share. The Tri-City Shopping Center is located just off I-10 between Alabama and the Tennessee exits in Redlands. Make it your home for all your shopping needs, and you'll know why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
If you're behind, and you know you're behind in your savings, you know you're behind from retirement, you haven't got enough retirement money, you're getting worried, and nobody helped you today. Did anybody help you today? Were you able to go to your mobile device today and say, what should I do with my stock? Did anybody do a video for you today? Did your planner, did your money manager, did the guy that's running your 401k, did he do a video for you today 3 times during the day, tell you exactly what to do with the stocks we're in? No. Now, when you join the gang, you can decide what you want to participate in. You can have the full schooling where you come to our class on a daily basis. That's done over the internet, of course. Or if you're a person that says, I just want you to make money for me because I don't have time to learn, and I have a program for that. And that's called my video stock program. So when the market goes up, you're going to make money. When the market goes down, you're going to make money.
Join Phil's Gang today and go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
How would you feel if you had to make a choice between buying food or spending your fixed income on life-saving medicine? No one should make that trade-off, but many low-income seniors are forced into difficult decisions like this every day. Smiles for Seniors Foundation provides energy assistance and safety net services to struggling low-income seniors in the Inland Empire. They provide one-time assistance to seniors to meet specific financial needs. They've helped with food, housing, utility payments, minor home and auto repairs, along with life-saving prescriptions or medical equipment. A nonprofit foundation funded entirely by donations from local organizations. Smiles for Seniors receives no funding from the state or federal government. They are funded by local businesses and individuals like you with big hearts and willing wallets. You can find more information or to donate to Smile for Seniors at 909-790-6671. That's 909-790-6671. Or visit smilesforseniorsfoundation.org. That's smilesforseniorsfoundation.org. Why are you listening to this radio station? Why? When you can host your own radio show. You're listening and you think you can do better? You have a message or a product you want everyone to know about. Host your own radio show. Team up with the area's best radio professionals and let them make you sound like you should be on NBC. KCAA NBC Radio, that is. KCAA produces more than 50 local programs each week on subjects ranging from business and sports to political talk, vegan diets, or even marijuana-related issues. We don't just broadcast on the radio, we broadcast to the world. Online, on TV, on social media, on Facebook. You'll be all over. Imagine what your friends will say. And KCAA reaches over 5 million people on 3 radio stations. Join the staff on 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM. NBC Radio. Jump on the KCAA Express. Call 909-793-1065. That's 909-793-1065. And get ready to transmit.
This is KCAA.
You tuned in to IE Radio on KCAA.
Baby!
Yeah, we here. Oh yeah, we here. You are now tuned in to IE Radio. My name is Nappy 2000.
And I am Sean John Jack.
It is a beautiful day to be here.
Nice day out here.
And we have a very, 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 very special guest tonight.
Very special guest, y'all.
And we have the one and only Lakin Day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm really excited to talk about this. I'm really excited to hear her music. She's been doing it for a very, very, very long time. Has performed with some of the greats. You know what I mean? So, stay tuned.
Stay tuned, y'all.
Right now, you are listening to Obliv. We're about to play a couple of her songs in a couple minutes. Sit back, relax one time. You are now listening to IE Radio. My name is Nappy 2000.
And I'm Sean John Jack.
Peace.
Peace. getting stiff out. Talking to Mike. Can you hear me?
You tuned in to IE Radio on KCAA.
I rock with my Afro puffs. Rock on with your man say. I rock rough and stuff with my Afro puffs. Rock on with your man say. I rock on with my mask off cause it's a must. It's the lady of rage still kicking up dust. So let me loosen up my bra strap. And let me boost you with my raw rap. Cause I'ma break it down to the nitty gritty one time. When it comes to the lyrics I get busy with mine. Busy as a beaver, you best believe her. This grand diva's running this shit with the speed of a cheetah. Me the lyrical murderer. I'm serving them like 2 scoops of chocolate. Check out how I rock it. I'm the one that's throwing bolos. You better roll a rolo to find out I'm the #1 solo. The capital R-A, now kick it to the G-E. I bring the things to light, but you still can't see me. I flow like the monthly, you can't cramp my style. For those that tried to punk me, here's a parent child. No need to say mo, check the flow. Rage in the back, one smoke, so now you know I rock rough and stuff with my Afro puffs. I rock rough and stuff with my Afro puffs.
Impossible, but you know I ain't alive. You feel intangible, but you feel my desire for you. Screaming from the depths of my soul, there we are, and I won't let go. Still I know that you doubt. And I hear you thinking, I'm just a little unsure. I'm just a little unsure. I'm a paradise and you're intoxicated. Don't it seem to show that I'm just a little unsure? Won't put in, one out, give your life away, and sometimes not to me. But when you do, I take it anyway, and mend the pieces carefully again and again. And now I'm screaming from the depths of my soul that we won't let go. Still I know you're thinking, yeah, I'm just a little unsure. I'm just a little unsure. I'm a paradox and you're intoxicating. Don't it seem so that I'm just a little unsure? One foot in, one out of the door, and I try to run, but there's no one who loves me more than you. Than you. Than you, yeah. Oh, hoping I can change you, maybe. Every day my love will save you. Don't you know I'll never fail to follow through if you make me your everything. 'Cause I'm screaming from the depths of my soul that we were and I won't let go. You gotta know, you've gotta know, yeah. Screaming from the depths of my soul that we were and I won't let go. Even though I know you're thinking, and I'm just a little unsure. I'm just a little unsure. I'm a paradox and you're intoxicating. Don't it seem so that I'm just a little unsure? One foot in, one out of the door, and I try to run, but there's no one who loves me more than you. You are never unsure.
This next song is called Echo Love. This is Lake and Day's new single. It just came out on all platforms.
All platforms, everybody.
So everyone go check it out. This is her new single called Echo Love.
Wish I'd met you years ago. Good people are so hard to find. Missed out on you, didn't even know you were right here all this time. Why does life go the way that it goes? Why does one feel more than the other one shows? Why do I still feel all alone, holding on to an echo? Why'd you have to be what I needed? Captivated heart, then you freed it. Fading out, but I can still feel it. Echo love, echo love. Wish that you weren't leaving now. Well, if I'm really wishing true, wish I knew you first somehow, before they would all be taken with you. Your kindness is a magnet. I know I don't mistake it for weakness in you, but for me it's an Achilles heel. But my brains need to leave it. You've got your own life, you'll go live it. I'll be here with fortuitous feelings. How did I find it? Hiding in plain sight, now it's gone. Oh, why'd you have to be what I needed? Captivated heart, then you freed it. Fading out, but I can still feel it. Echo love, echo love, echo one feel more than the other one shows? Why do I still feel all alone, holding on to an echo? Oh, would you have to be wild? Yeah, captivating heart, then you freed it. Oh, fit now, but I can still feel it. Echo love, echo love. And I wish I could be cool, but I don't know how. Oh, I can't pick up the phone, but I can't forget you now. Feeling your echo. Yeah, yeah. Oh, feeling your echo. Feeling your echo. Don't wanna let go. Holding on to an echo.
You tuned in to IE Radio on KCAA.
We are back. You are now tuned in to IE Radio. My name is Nappy 2000.
And I am Sean John Jack.
And our special guest is
Lakin.
Lakin Day. So, welcome for coming down to the radio show.
Thank you for having me. It's exciting.
How was the traffic? Was it pretty bad?
No. Well, everything in LA with rain is, catastrophic. So.
That's true. True.
I almost lost my life coming over here.
Oh, geez. Well, we're glad that didn't happen.
What do you mean you almost lost your life?
No, not really. I'm just being dramatic.
She's talking about how people are so dramatic in the LA traffic.
See?
It's always extra out here. You know?
I'm like,
it barely drizzles and everybody's like, it's this thunderstorm.
Right,
like,
exactly.
It's so bad.
Carmageddon.
Yeah, Carmageddon.
Part 3. It was fine.
That's good. That's good.
So,
that song. Okay. That song, Echo Love, was really, really dope.
Thank you.
Really, really dope. I saw you yesterday on your IG when you were talking about releasing it. What inspired you to make that song?
Well, the personal motivation, I guess, inspiration, just came after I had a visit with one of my friends. And it was just one of those times in my life where it was just a huge transition point, and didn't really have a lot of people around in my friend circle. And so after I'd had a visit with that friend, it kind of just made me realize how much I missed having like that connection, with a network of people or a person. But I wrote it to be a little bit more ambiguous in a sense, because a lot of people listen to it and they're like, oh, that must be about this, grand overture of romantic love, but it's not for me. Yeah. But it could be that. It could be family. It could be a lot of different things. So that was the original motivation, but I wanted to write something also that would be a little bit more relevant.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's dope. That's really dope.
When going about that, being alone with having no friends, going through your music journey, how did that affect you when making these songs or going into these new transitions into your life?
Yeah, that is kind of just that question is at the center of this whole next album, which is called Silent Conversations. The next single that's coming out next month is called Silent Conversations, so that'll be the title track. But the idea of Silent Conversations as a theory, as an idea, is that there's all these things that are just really difficult for us to admit to ourselves and to talk to people about, but those are usually the things that need to be said the most.
Yeah.
And so to answer your question, during that time, it was a lot of introspection. It was a lot of ups and downs, very high highs and very low lows. But they all led to a lot of questions, that show themselves in the forms of songs on this next record, because it's all about those silent conversations, all about, trying to say the things that are difficult to say.
That's really cool.
Because that's funny that you say that, because True Lee actually came down and said when he's making music, he's going about it and, people do have those questions, but they may not have the answer. But when they listen to the music, you're pretty much giving people the answer that you're actually questioning yourself about.
Yes.
Which is pretty much an oxymoron in itself when you're going about it.
It is, yeah, and that's funny that you say that too, because I think I just realized this maybe like a year or two ago, that I don't find myself to be an overly optimistic person just by nature. And I don't think I'm a pessimistic person either. I think I'm more of an idealist. Like, I see how things could be, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be that. And so what I found with my music is that a lot of times it's just like, I'm feeling a certain kind of way about something, let me write about it. And the writing is what makes it hopeful to me. That's so dope. It's like the writing is actually like the hopeful part of myself, where I'm encouraging the other part of myself.
Do you like writing? Like,
I love it.
Okay, that's really cool.
I love the writing. The writing is probably my favorite part of all of it, but I think it's because it has to be done. It's cathartic for me. So
right.
It's like,
because you can express yourself so much through the writing. Like, you can actually have a connection with people through the writing.
Exactly.
You can actually like take your emotion and like actually put it out there. Like, and I can actually feel when I would listen to the song, I actually listen, you know, because a lot of people listen to music, they be like, I heard it, but I listen. So, and I can feel what you were saying. So me asking what I just asked, it just like clarified everything, because it's kind of like, okay, cool, that's what the song is actually about. Because what you're saying is right. Like, you actually can interpret it to be about someone, or it can actually be about the situation with being with a friend. That's what's dope about it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like really, really.
I think that's just
versatile.
music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can just have so many perceptions of just one thing.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's the good part about songwriting, is that you can write it from your own perspective, you can write it from somebody else's perspective. There's so many different ways, you know, to look at one thing, and that's the challenge, and that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it also cathartic, is trying to figure out how do I get my emotions into this very small vehicle in very succinct ways. Like, that's the challenge. That's the game.
That's so fun. That's so cool.
Would you say that when you're making the music, that is your sensitive, more ambiguity? I can't even say that word.
Ambiguity. That's a hard word.
That's a hard word to say. How do we say that? Ambiguity.
Yeah.
that more part of your side. Would you say that's more of that speaking out when you're making your music?
You mean the songwriting, like the sensitive part of it?
Yeah. Would you say that's part kind of yourself kind of spewing out into the music, the side that can't necessarily talk to the public, but when you're in your own private place, you can write the music?
I mean, in a sense, yes. I think that I could be overstepping my bounds in saying this, but I think that a lot of artists, especially writers, happen to be more introspective and happen to be more introverted. And introverted doesn't mean you don't like people. You know, a lot of people get that kind of mixed up. It just is how you get your energy. Right. And so I think, I'm much more on the introverted side than the extroverted side. So in that sense, yes, because it's like, I wouldn't, when you ask the 12-year-old version of myself what I wanted to do, it wasn't like stand in front of a bunch of people and be the center of attention. Like, that's not what I wanted to sign up for. But when it comes to the connectivity that comes from that, that's much more on the introspective side. That's much more, in the realm of an introvert, is like having that true connection from people. So in a sense, it's that sensitive part of myself, that introverted part of myself comes out in the music. But hopefully other people connect to it in a way that transcends that, me being in this little mind space. My mind is a crazy place.
But that's dope that you can actually take it though and actually express it, because that's what the true artists actually do. Like, they actually can take it and actually convey it, because that's what the connection is. Because when people actually listen to music, I think that's like the dopest part, is when they actually can have a connection with the artist. Because when I can't really listen to a lot of people when I don't have the connection, if I don't feel it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope that you actually put your emotion in, because I can feel the emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just hearing it. Like, if I walk by, I'll be like, oh, who's that? Like, I can feel the emotion. Like, you have the passion, and I like that. That's really dope.
That's good.
I like that.
I'm glad that you can feel that.
Oh yeah, of course. I know y'all heard it too, of course.
When being in this mental space, how do you go about it when you're going on the stage, or when you're going about different situations? Like, how do you break yourself out of that so you can present the full Lakin, the full package that you present when you're making the music?
When I'm making it, or when I'm on stage? Both. I think, the making it is easier for me because, I get to do it in my own space, in my own time. I think from that perspective, I'll say this. I took this online class with this woman who was like a big PR person in the industry for years. And one thing that I will take away forever from her class was that you should always write about things that scare you. And so from the making music standpoint, that's what I wanted this album to be. I was like, and probably forevermore, but it just like hit me like the things that we're most afraid of are usually the things that other people are the most afraid of. And so from the making music standpoint, I think it's, you know, that's kind of the crucial part of it, is making yourself vulnerable and also making yourself available for it. Going on stage, that's kind of a different beast, because I think for me personally, I have to know my craft and everything that goes into each song. I have to know that well enough so that I can kind of forget about it by the time I get on the stage. So then what I'm doing is I'm connecting with the people. I'm vibing with the energy, and that's really what the performing is about. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a scary thing when people are listening to your every word, your every pick of your guitar. And when I see you doing the national anthems, you've done a lot.
Oh, man.
For the people who don't know, which ones have you done recently?
So this summer I had the opportunity to sing for the Seattle Storm, who ended up winning, you know, the championship for the WNBA.
Hey.
But yeah, I sang the game one of their finals.
Storm.
Yes, shout out to the Seattle Storm. My girl Alicia, she hooked me up with that opportunity, and yeah, it was just like super surreal to do, you know, something of that level, of that caliber.
How does it feel to be like around that many people performing? Like well, the nerves like is it like really there? Like, do you like just like black out? Like, do you like think about it afterwards, or you know?
I think for any regular gig, you still have the nerves, but I think that's like good nerves, right? It's like the butterflies, like, oh, like I'm about to do something important.
Yeah.
With the national anthem, anybody who knows me, probably all these people who are watching on the IG Live and everything, they know that I absolutely despise singing the national anthem, and that surprises.
Wait.
Yeah,
why
I know.
is that?
I know.
Is it because it's a complicated song, or is it because it's very strategic at the way you have to say it, or? It's
completely like the Pavlovian effect of like, whenever I get into a gym and I know that I'm singing the national anthem, I get nervous, and it came out of nowhere. I didn't always do this, but it's like, it makes me so nervous. So it doesn't even matter, to answer your question, it doesn't even matter if there's 10 people in the gym, or in that game, it was a sold out game and it was like packed arena, same level.
Same level. Wow.
Yep.
The national anthem was tough.
It's a very hard song. I think that's originally where it started from, was, you know, I always say people don't know all the words and everything of the national anthem. Like, if I asked you to sing it, you probably wouldn't know all the words.
No, I don't.
Everybody.
My dad's 71 years old. He doesn't know it either.
Exactly. True Americans, right?
Yeah.
But what's crazy is everybody knows if you mess it up. So it's like, you might not know what it is, but it's like, yo, something doesn't sound right with that, you know? And so I think that's originally where it came from, was just like the expectation I put on myself for it to be perfect, because I'm such a perfectionist, and that's originally where it started. But I've made growth,
that's cool,
you know, into like being able to do a gig like that, you know, in front of all those people. I also, last year, I think it was like a few months before, or maybe earlier in the year, I got to sing for the Lakers, the South Bay Lakers.
The G League.
The G League,
Dope.
So,
the Gatorade League.
Correct. So that was cool too. But both of those, you know, same kind of caliber.
I can imagine, because it's just me. I can imagine just being around all those people. I'll be like, ooh, I can just hear everything and just seeing all of them.
Pin drop.
Ooh, yeah, pin drop.
You know,
that's tight though.
Yeah.
That's really tight.
Yeah, it's a different experience.
How old were you when you first did it?
Oh, the first time I sang the national anthem, I was a freshman in high school, so I had to have been 14, probably.
Do you think maybe that fear just carried on into your latter years as you were singing it?
I mean, I think it got worse. Yeah. It's so weird. I started singing the national anthem for my wife's team, because she's an assistant coach up at Cal State Northridge.
Hey.
And Cal State Northridge. And I just, you know, it's not that many people. It's like, you know, it's a smaller arena, and I don't know what it was. Like over the years, I just started getting more nervous singing it. But
it's a tough song, man. Like that, I can imagine. Like, cause I've seen people do it. I'm like, man, I can imagine singing that song because it's an important song. Like, and people really live. Just like you saying, as much as you don't know the lyrics to the song, you'll know when you say something wrong. So that's dope.
So I'm like, just do your thing, just get it right.
That's dope.
You know, try to put my own spin on it. But I will say, those years singing it, all those years at colleges like Cal State Northridge, has given it like my very specific style with it.
That's dope.
So I gotta thank them for that.
So do you like as far as like the studio, like what is your favorite part about being in the studio? Do you like the recording aspect, or do you like being there as far as the creativity towards the actual making of the tracks? Like, what's like your favorite part of being in the studio?
You know, I think what I love the most about it is just being able to get ideas out and see them materialize in different ways. Like when you do the songwriting process, at least when I do the songwriting process, it's very much like a puzzle, and you don't really know how it's all going to fit together in a picture until it does, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, that's exactly what I meant it to be. But when it comes to the studio, it's a different kind of creative part of my brain. I think it's more like, okay, now that I have this song, I have a vision, a very specific vision for it, and then it turns into what are the best techniques that we can use? What are the best instruments? What are the right musicians to use to create that vision? And so it's different. It's still creative very much, but it's just a different process, I think, for me.
That's dope. So I just say instruments. So I know you play a lot of instruments. So what's your favorite instrument to play? Like,
I mean, guitar is gonna be my bread and butter.
Okay.
At this point, I've been playing since I was 12 or 13. I studied it in college.
Wow.
I was very behind when I was in college, but I learned a lot when I was in college to become more proficient. Piano was actually my first instrument, but I'm still very like elementary with it. So I use it for writing a lot. Sometimes I'll play. So that would be the two biggest instruments.
That's dope. I mean, that's pretty huge instruments. Not a lot of people can play the piano.
I mean, those are both they're very complex in their own ways.
Yeah.
But, you know, my dad is a percussionist. My older brother plays drums. And so when I was growing up, rhythm was a really big part of my thinking. And so I would never call myself a percussionist, but, like, I really enjoy delving into that world.
Okay.
So,
that's dope.
I wouldn't call myself that, but... yeah.
I think one thing too, what you said is you have people come and play their instruments on your actual track.
That's tight.
Yeah.
You know, not many people gather a bunch of artists together in one room and create and put together into what you need, because it's not even at that point your vision anymore.
Yeah.
Other people are inputting their feeling and their creativity into it as well.
Yeah, that's such a huge part of the recording process if you're going to bring in other people, right? Because it's like you need to know the vibe that you're going for, and then you need to know the musician well enough to know what they're going to bring to the track. So, for instance, on Echoed Love, Marco Fazio was one of the producers with me, and David Contreras was the other. Marco and I kind of split the responsibilities of guitars and piano, and Dave was in charge of all the drums and programming. And then I also brought in my older brother, who sang the background vocals in the latter half of the song. And we also brought in my really good friend Joseph Salcedo, who played bass on it. And I know them well enough to know like what they were going to bring to the table. So it was a little bit easier to cast the vision and be like, this is what I'm looking for. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I describe my music now under those terms of like live pop. Like it's under the umbrella of pop, but it's still, you know, live instrumentation kind of twisted in ways that...
'cause live instruments are lost nowadays. People don't use it enough, you know, and I think that's dope that you do that. Like, that's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, I'm a musician's kid, you know. I grew up with live music, so that's always been, and it's probably always going to be a huge part of how I process music and how I make it. And to your point about, you know, not really it being just your vision anymore, that's kind of what I love about it too, is that when you bring in the right people, even if you don't, I mean, they're still going to put their fingerprints on your sound. And to me, that's like, those are my favorite moments in songs, is when, even if it's somebody who's programming, but it's like different ideas where it's like one thing and you're like, oh, that one part was just like so, that just made the song for me, you know?
I feel that way too.
Yeah, and like in Echoed Love, there's this thing that David programmed, and I think it comes in right after the second chorus, and it's just like this simple little like drum thing that he programmed into it, and every time it hits, it just like, it makes me excited, and that's super nerdy, but I was like, I just love that you put that right there. So
that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Musicians.
So do you have any albums coming out soon?
I do, yeah. So my plan with music right now is every month this year I'm releasing a different single.
Tight.
Yeah, and then huge undertaking. And then probably in the fall is when I'll package everything as an album and then release that.
That's
as well.
dope. So how's the creative process with making a song every week? Is that like challenging? Like, is it easy?
Well, every month. So like right now I have Good Love was just released, and then the next song, Silent Conversations, is already done. So in the next couple weeks I'll be kind of fine tuning the other 3 songs, which I started on this last year.
So you're already ahead.
A little bit. I'm trying to stay ahead so that, you know, I can keep to that schedule. But it's just a different way of engaging people. You know, we all consume music now in this day and age in such a different way than we did 10, 15 years ago. And so my thought behind it was, if I release a single per month, then able to tell stories with what I'm saying, and hopefully people will connect to like each one, instead of like going, you know, releasing a whole album and then people are like, oh, these are my 2 favorites, and then they don't really listen to the rest. But that's just the way it is. I don't take offense to that. It's just the way it is.
That's,
you know?
That's dope. That's really dope.
Yeah. So this way, maybe people connect with a song maybe they wouldn't have normally, because it's like, oh, she just released 1 track, so let me listen to it.
Right. I like that. I like that. You're staying ahead of the game. You got songs coming out. That's really dope. I look forward to that.
It seems like a project of self as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been a process, a learning process for me too, trying to just figure out how I like to produce, you know, and the things that that I like to hear in my music, the things that make it Lakin, if you will, you know. Like, now I describe my music, like I said, under the umbrella of pop with live musicians, but it's almost like neo soul meets indie folk.
I was getting a lot of neo soul vibes.
Yeah, it's like the live instrumentation, but then the jazz chords, progressions, all that stuff, you know, even the inflections, the way that I sing, but then you've got like the folk elements of the acoustic instruments and the storytelling and the very vulnerable intellectual parts of that. Yeah. So it's like,
and the melodies are really, really catchy. I love them.
Thank you. Well, and that would probably be under pop, you know.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's on the pop. So
that's what I love about. Yeah, that's what I love about pop. So it's kind of in the form of pop. It's like packaged in pop with live instruments. But then you've got the neo soul meets indie folk, and that's me. So
what artists did you grow up listening to?
Did I grow up listening to? I feel like I just listened to what my parents listened to, like when I was really young. You know, my dad loves, you know, he played with George Benson, so there was just the jazz influence growing up. But you know, he listened to like all the really like complex singers of the day, like Marvin Gaye, the OJs, Heat Wave, Earth, Wind and Fire. Like, he was much more in that camp. That was like his jam. And then my mom listened to everything. Like, she listened to that stuff, but she also listened to pop. You know, she also listened to folk. Like, I remember, it's so funny, I just posted something the other day, and it was a cover. Somebody else had requested it, but it was a Bonnie Raitt cover. And as soon as I was listening to that song again, I was like, this reminds me of my mom, cassette tape. Like, I can still remember what it looks like, you know? So it's like she kind of across the board was listening to like different types of music. And so growing up, I kind of had that whole spectrum of it. So then that probably lent itself to me listening to a lot of different types of music, you know, when I got older, because I went through my pop phase, you know, mostly like in high school, and R&B and alternative. And then when I got to college, I discovered more like folk music and singer-songwriters. And then it was like going back through the gambit in a different era. So it's a lot. It's very diverse. I listen to a lot of different types of stuff. Which you probably know if you listen to my music. You're like, that came out of nowhere, seemingly. Yeah.
It seems like it's needed though, because there's so many subgenres nowadays. It's like people need everything just in one just to be satisfied.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm going for. I'm looking for you people. Where are you?
Yeah.
You people who like everything. That's
consumerism.
Yeah.
So we have a live acoustic set from you today.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Looking to play a song or two.
Okay. We're gonna set it up right now. Stay tuned. I'm going to play a couple songs for y'all as we get it set up. You are now tuned in to IE Radio. My name is Nappy2000.
And I'm Sean John Jack.
And our special guest is...
Lakin.
Stay tuned, y'all.
Stay tuned, y'all.
The more we know, the less we see.
to IE Radio on KCAA.
This is IE Radio. This is Nappy 2000.
And this is your boy, Sean John Jack.
And we are about to have a live acoustic performance from Lake and Day, which I didn't say at the beginning is my sister.
What?
But we are now going to hear from Lake and Day. So stay right there. Oh, wait, Lake and Night.
Oh.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, okay. I thought it was on.
on.
I thought it was on.
You wouldn't understand now, would you? It'd be like the clouds trying to see the air. We've all got a little bit in us now, don't we? Too filthy and high up on ourselves, yeah. See just a little bit clearer, see just a little bit clearer, oh, see just a little bit clearer, see just a little bit clearer, oh, see like we're looking in the mirror, see like bigger than the picture, eyes without blind sight. Come on, going back to the beginning, I want you. There goes star within us when we're born, yeah. Before calling that one a sinner, I warn you. Remember the grave is where you came from, yeah, yeah. See just a little bit clearer, see just a little bit clearer, oh, see just a little bit clearer, see just a little bit clearer, oh, see like we're looking in the mirror, see like bigger than the picture, eyes without blind sight. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, oh, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. See just a little bit clearer, to see just a little bit clearer, oh, to see just a little bit clearer, to see just a little bit clearer, oh, to see just a little bit clearer, to see just a little bit clearer, to see just a little bit clearer, to
see just a little bit clearer. Oh, to see like we're looking in the mirror. To see like bigger than the picture. Eyes without blind sight. Oh, yeah. Oh, to see just a little bit clearer now. See just a little bit clearer now. Yeah, just to see, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was nice.
Yo.
Really, really dope. It's like got chills. Like,
Yo.
That was really hard.
Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Real talent.
That was real talent there, right there.
Real music.
Wow. That was tight.
Thanks, man.
I hope y'all enjoyed that, man, because that was really, really dope.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
No doubt. Thank you for coming.
That was Lake and Day, if y'all didn't know.
Lake and Day. And you guys got to follow up on IG, you know?
Yeah.
Let them know your IG so they can follow you.
I'm on everything.
She says she on everything,
I'm on
y'all.
everything. Lakin, Lakin, Lakin music. So you can find me anywhere. Or you could just type Lakin Music into Google. You can go to lakinmusic.com.
There you go. There you go.
Lakin Music.
Lakin Music. You guys got to find a follower.
Whatever. Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, man.
Hey, she out there. Y'all make sure y'all Google her. Make sure y'all follow her. Make sure y'all hit her up. This is dope. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed it because we're sitting here. We enjoyed it. I know y'all enjoyed it. We out here, you know. So this is dope.
Yeah,
great
thank you
music,
so much.
great vibes. Thank you.
And it's good to see my little brother doing his thing, you know.
That's so dope.
First time being in the studio, so.
That's so dope.
I know. This is a special thing. This is dope.
We're making magical moments here.
I know, right?
The Saucitos. Hey. You have a website, though, right? For people to check you out?
Yes, so it's going to be Lakin, Lakin music.com. And everything is there. The new single is up. I got videos there.
Shows?
Yeah, everything. The shows are up there.
She's gonna have new singles every week. Don't forget about that.
Every month.
Every month.
Putting pressure.
Putting pressure. Oh my God. My goodness. Wait, every month though. That's still ridiculous. Every month, y'all.
Yeah, every
Make
month.
Sure check her out.
Every month I'll have something. I have a show in LA at Hotel Cafe next Monday at 7 p.m. It's MLK Day, so hopefully less traffic.
Right.
But yeah, if you're in the area, I would love to see you there, and I'll just be posting everything on all the socials. So
nice.
Love to hear from y'all.
Thank you for coming on to IE Radio.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yo, speaking of dropping a song every day, remember when Assad was dropping a song every single day?
Yes, I do remember that.
That's something, man.
If y'all don't know who Assad is, he works with TDE's Ab Soul, and he's Lil Uzi Vert's visual creator. But Lil Uzi Vert doesn't rap no more.
I heard Lil Uzi retired.
He retired
Dang,
from music.
Retired
He
from
dropped.
music.
Did he take off all of his music off the streams yet?
He's saying that he's gonna take all his stuff off the streams. I've seen Nav said, you know, if you're gonna retire, I retire too, bro. So, you know, he's not feeling it. I guess
he wasn't feeling it.
I guess he's just not feeling that Lil Uzi's not gonna drop anymore. So he's just like, if you're not gonna do it, there's no reason for me to be out here either.
He was supposed to drop.
That's loyalty,
which is
right
that's
there.
real loyalty,
Right.
His music was hot. If people may not like that, you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
you can't hate on it. You
I
know?
think people's just mad because, you know, it's been like a year since Uzi dropped something. You know, it's been New Paddock was like the last like single people got. And
New Panic.
Yeah.
Eternal Take may not come out.
It may not come out, you guys. Like, this is about to be like Detox. You know, you guys.
Dang, man.
Detox.
It's real.
Well, Detox low key did come out.
It did. We got straight out of Compton, yeah. That was even better.
out.
He was like, Drake was like, I'll drop a movie for y'all, you know. Forget an album.
No big deal.
No big deal.
That was
like,
the Detox.
That was the Detox.
That was the Detox. He was detoxing all of those
He was
rumors
detoxing
out of
all-
his body. He's like, yeah, I dropped this for you. I dropped Compton for y'all. I made an NWA movie for y'all.
For reals. All that. He did all that for us. So, I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen Blueface before I pulled up here.
Blueface.
When I was driving
You
through
talked
the
to
rain.
him?
Nah. He was on the IG. I seen everybody kept reposting. He was like, you know, sea walking in the rain.
See you walking in the rain.
Kept seeing that today before I came here.
Like Daylight said, you know what, Vlad? You gotta respect his crippin'.
Oh my God.
Shouts out to Daylight. Dropping knowledge every single day.
I was watching Wildin' Out. That guy was in the crowd like a regular dude.
Daylight?
Yeah, Daylight. I was like, bro, we know it's you. But he was like, I'm a regular person.
Oh
like,
my God.
I couldn't take it. Like,
that's hilarious.
This guy's something else.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we're out here, guys. Hopefully you guys are being safe out here in this rain. It's been storming. It's going to be raining till Thursday, so y'all make sure y'all be safe. You know,
drive slow.
Drive slow.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink.
Don't
and
get
drive.
caught smoking and driving, because that's a fat ticket.
All that.
It's a fat ticket.
Notice he said, "Don't get caught."
Don't get caught. This is IE Radio, though, y'all. I'm Nappy 2000.
And I'm Sean John Jack, everybody.
Stay tuned. We'll be back next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. We'll be here. You too. Thank you. All right.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3